Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've already tried to start recording this video once. That's why we have some cards pulled out already. And we just kept having some interruptions. The music stopped playing. I was trying to pull a couple of archetypes for you guys while reading your angel numbers, and all of these cards just like fell out of my hands and flew everywhere, and I had to like collect them all again. So I'm kind of getting that this energy that some of you are in right now is kind of messy. Like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things happening at once. Some things are spilling all over the place. They're not kind of filing nicely into place like they're supposed to. In my last message, Spirit was giving me very heavily that a lot of people in the collective are going through a timeline shift right now, or an energy shift right now. Some of you are becoming really emotionally and spiritually awoken right now, which can cause a lot of chaos and kind of a lot of confusion and things happening in your life. And there's going to be a lot of new beginnings. Like we have this 0909 card. You're going to have a lot of new opportunities, and it's going to take a lot of courage to kind of get through all this chaotic energy, to get those accomplishments and get those conclusions that you're looking for. With the 1111 card, this is a card of manifestation. So a gateway is going to be open to you. There's going to be a new, almost like portal, essentially, opening for you to pass through into this new part of your journey. It's going to require a lot of self-realization and taking action, which is kind of what I was saying in my other reading that I posted the other day. So I will have that linked down in the description box as well for the last video, because if you are resonating at all so far with this message, I would definitely I definitely think that you should probably watch that other video, because like I said, it's almost kind of like a continuation of the last message, or expounding on it even a little bit more. And actually, excuse me, just in the last video too, my throat chakra was starting to get kind of messed up, and it's kind of happening again. So I'm wondering if this is the same energy, or what's going on here. But so some of the archetypes for pulling for you guys are the Pilgrim with opportunities and growth. Yep. So like I said, that's, you're going to be coming across a lot of different situations and things that you don't normally come in contact with that are going to be catalysts for your growth. There's going to be a lot of opportunities that you thought you would never have, or opportunities that you never even thought of that might be coming towards you. And, you might be feeling a little bit nervous about even embarking on this new adventure, because, it's kind of scary when you really think about it, if it's something that you've never done before. With the King card here with control and reverse of fortune, some of you might be feeling that if your anxiety and your ego is telling you that you shouldn't make this decision, because there's a chance that, you could have a reversal of fortune, meaning like you think that you're scared that it's not going to be successful, or that you're not going to succeed. And the thought of failure and not having whatever minimal stability that you have now, you're afraid that you won't even have that in the future, because of the, societal programming that has been kind of put into your brain for so many years. But you're going to have to take control of your life. You're going to have to realize that, sometimes you're going to have to change, and you're going to have some people in your life who are going to try to deceive you, to try to make you not allow you to make this decision that you need to make. There's going to be a lot of people trying to put up fronts, to put up illusions, to try to trick you into staying where you're at, to not moving forward, to try to make you go down the wrong path. That's going to actually create this reversal of fortune, not the one that you're supposed to go on. So whatever you're thinking might happen, or that you're too anxious or too scared to go forward with right now because it's something new. It's like the fear of the unknown. There are people in your life who are trying to take advantage of that anxiety that you're feeling right now to try to trick you to not take your correct path, to not fulfill your soul's purpose, or to not do what you're supposed to really be doing in your life. And and one more, thank you, Spirit. And yeah, with the storyteller here, there are definitely some people who are going to try to control the narrative of your life right now. There's some people who really think that they have a say in what you do and say in your life, and what you accomplish, and what you should be allowed to do or say, because they've known you for a while, or maybe they're a family member or a friend or even a partner. There's some people who think that they have control over the things that you do and say just because of their connection to you. And to be honest, that's not the case. That's just not the case. You're going to have to take control of your own story, of your own narrative. And your viewpoints are going to start to change, and whatever belief system that you have, or whatever type of thoughts and opinions that you have, those, you need to stay true to those. These people are going to try to change them or make you not believe your own belief system, but you have to stand strong and stay vigilant and put up your boundaries and protect your energy and protect your heart and your aura, everything. You're going to have to stay firm-footed in your belief system. Do we have any other oracle cards to give me an idea of the full energy, Spirit, of my collective? Let's see, what do we have here? Oh my gosh. What is going on with this? Even I'm having like a difficulty shuffling these cards. Like, it's just, I just keep feeling like there's these people or this energy in your life that is like really trying to hold you back from doing what you're good at, what you have dreams about. Someone is trying to keep you stagnant, to not move forward. We have flying. I love that card. It's like a beautiful little horse, like rainbow horse with butterfly wings. I love that. Wow, that one flew out. Oh my god, that's crazy. Follow the leader. I love that. Look how pretty it is with all this, it's like a fairy with like birds, all different types of birds. So a ton of different types of people, but they're all birds. They all have wings. Even this fairy has wings. So like, just like we're all people, we're all human, spiritual beings living a human experience. We're all different. We all have different color auras and different types of energy and gifts and talents, but you want to be able to bring people together. Let me see if we have one more of these enchanted map oracle cards before I read in the guidebook real fast to get some extra ideas about the meanings of these cards. Oh my gosh. Oh, and the elephant. Oh, elephants are my favorite. I love them. And then we have listening. So let me just grab the guidebook real fast so I can kind of give you guys some more information about these cards. So we have flying. Let's see. If you were a bird flying high in the air, what would you see? When you soar above life challenges and opportunities, a new perspective becomes available. Today, you will have invisible wings that allow you to swiftly bring your circumstances into alignment with your highest purpose. This is a sign that your waiting is over. All your hard work has paid off, and the things you hoped for are no longer beyond your scope. You have the ability to reach for the stars and find with one name on it. Oh my god, I cannot speak today. You have the ability to reach for the stars and find one with your name on it. Spread your wings and soar. The angels are waiting for you. Yeah, so I'm also just realizing that This is these are butterfly wings. There's butterflies here. All of these birds have wings. The fairy has wings. So this is really spirit giving you double confirmation that the sky is the limit. There is no limit. The limit does not exist. Callie said. Is that her name from Mean Girls? I can't remember what her name is, but Katie maybe? Yeah, Katie. Katie says the limit does not exist. So basically, you are going to soar so high above all of these adversities and oppositions and people that keep coming at you sideways. And you're going to be able to see your whole world and your situation from a bird's view point of view. Kind of like how I'm doing this reading today at a bird's view. It's kind of interesting. And you're going to be able to see everything from a different perspective. So like when you're in it, in the middle and all the chaos is surrounding you, sometimes it's hard to see the full picture because you're so focused on getting through that chaos at that moment, getting through the maze, all this chaos. But when you're up high and you see everything in a bigger scope, you're able to actually see, oh, there's the exit. Oh, there's the next turn. That's not too far away. I can make that. It's a way to be able to see things clearly and more genuinely, rather than being so stuck in the place that you're at, feeling like you can't move forward. Because, you know, when you're in this maze, it's dark. There's no lights. There's no signs that tell you where to go. You know what I mean? But if you're above everything and you rise above, you're able to see things in its full entirety and more clearly. And it's not so scary anymore. It's kind of like when you're in a plane and you look down and you think, you know a city is big, you know a town is big, you know a state is big. But when you're in that plane and you're looking down, it doesn't even look real. It looks fake. It almost looks like it's like a one-dimensional piece of paper from like, kindergarten. It doesn't even look like a real place. Sometimes it just looks like lines and squares and colors, and it doesn't look like anything. And it looks like, oh, well, that's nothing. It's the same kind of idea. When you're that far up and you've ascended so high and you're looking down at your situation, you're like, this situation's not even in, this is nothing. I can get through this no problem. Like I can see exactly where I need to go. So with the follow the leader card, that kind of like what I was saying, you're being called to lead others by example. Your wisdom has been earned as a result of your bravery in the adventure of life. The experiences of battles won and lost, places discovered, tears shed, and joy revealed have placed you in a unique position to be at service to others. Your suffering has been crystallized into a talisman of wisdom. Now you must share it. By being fully authentic, you'll lead others into the light. You'll be required to divulge some things about your past so that you may help someone else. Lead with love. There is another message here as well. Look at those whose great character and accomplishments you admire. Emulate the leaders you respect. You will then in turn have more to offer. So, yeah, with this, I'm kind of seeing how, this big tree on this hill, also kind of high up looking down at this long path, with the clock on it, which signals time, obviously. So you have a lot of wisdom. Some of you have been going through these type of situations for many years or a long time, and you have all of these learned experiences from these lessons and these hardships, and you have a lot of life experience and wisdom. And for some of you, you might not even be like what people might consider old. You know what I mean? A lot of people out there have had to grow up very fast or have been through a lot of things and lived a lot of different type of lives, even in a short time that they've actually been on Earth. So you don't have to actually be old or an elder to have this type of wisdom. It can be honestly anybody who has gathered some type of wisdom from experiences and past hurt and lessons and things that they have learned. As I said before, all of these figures on this card all have wings, but they're at varying stages. Like one is an adult bird, one is a chick, one is a baby duck. This is a fairy, but it seems like it's a full-grown fairy, like an adult fairy. So and they're all similar in the fact that they have wings. However, you know, the duck and the chick aren't flying yet. You know, they have wings, but they haven't learned to fly yet. So this stands for, I'm trying to see, how am I going to say this? Or how should I word it, Spirit? This card represents two things. The different stages of the birds and the fairy can symbolize you, the different stages that you've gone through and the many years you've gone through and how much you've grown into this fairy. Or it could also represent all the different types of people that you're going to connect with and that you're going to bring together to go on this path to also gain wisdom. You know, all different types of people, ages, races, gender, it doesn't matter, all different types. But the thing that's all the same, just how all these have wings, is that, like, again, like I said, we're spiritual beings learning and living a human experience. So that's what we have in common, is that we're all connected through source, through energy, through the universe. And you're going to tell people about the things that you've gone through. You're going to be honest and forthcoming with the lessons that you've had to learn in the past. And you're going to kind of be speaking your testimony, almost your story. And that's going to encourage more people. These people are going to be listening to you. You know, the listening card says, an open heart will hear the message. So when this card appears, you're being reminded that there is a time to speak and there's a time to listen. Now is an occasion for listening. Pay attention not only to what is being spoken, but also to what is not being said at the moment. For the deeper message that is not always obvious, listen with your heart, not just your ears, and you'll find clarity. Receiving the listening card is a fortunate sign and ensures a greater understanding of your circumstances. So what I'm getting with this listening card is, for those of you who are currently in a situation where you are learning a hard lesson, or you are still growing and you are still gaining experience, you're not quite this large tree yet, you're still on the journey yourself to that tree, that instead of just listening to what people are saying to you or saying about you or about other people or whatever is being spoken around you, instead of taking those words at face value, you need to follow your intuition. You need to follow what you know is intuitively true about the situation that you're in, and what you know to be intuitively true about the people around you. A lot of people like to do a lot of this with no action. And a lot of people like to run their mouths and say, you know, not nice things, not very encouraging things to people, expecting that those people are going to take those words and believe them. But you need to not listen to what they're saying to you, and listen to your intuition, and listen to source, spirit, God, whoever you believe in, that whatever those negative things they might be saying to you, don't believe them. They're not true. These people are being used as a vessel for negativity and for, you know, the oppositions that are trying to take you down. On the other side of the coin, you have to listen to your downloads from spirit. You have to be able to listen to the universe and pay attention to the synchronicities and coincidences that are happening in your life as well. So those things aren't always words. Listening to the universe is not always hearing clear words or hearing words in your mind or whatever. They are signs. They are, like I said, synchronicities. They are people that, out of the whole group of people who are being negative, there's one person who's being positive and gives you a message that, or a nugget of knowledge that you needed to hear right in that moment. There's no such thing as coincidences. So whenever you've experienced something like that, that is something that's coming from God. That is a message coming from the universe, from spirit, from source, that you are supposed to consume in that moment and to believe it. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh my God, what is going on here? There we go. I'm going to move these up and we're going to get some tarot for you guys. Trying to make sure that my cord isn't in the way again. My microphone cord, which seems to always be in the way. God, I hope that's not all in the video. Whatever. Okay, so what do we have? What do we have, Spirit, for my collective? What else can we add to the conversation about my spirit, not my spirit, my collective's situation? Thank you, Spirit. So we got Queen of Swords, Death, and the Hermit. Yeah, so right now, some of you are on the precipice of a death and rebirth of a cycle right now. You are being urged, if you're not already, some of you are already in hermit mode. You've already kind of went inside of yourself, into your shell, if you will, into your cave is what I like to say. And you are doing some self-reflection and finding the light within you. You are trying to work on your shadow, and you know, with the ending of this cycle that's coming or has happened or whatever, you are learning more about yourself. You are finding out that the things that these people have said to you that were negative are not true. And you're starting to work through any type of trauma bonds or wounding that you might have from when you were younger, or maybe these are more recent wounds from people that were in your life before. And trauma can present itself in all kinds of ways. It's not just like something super dramatic or something super serious, like a very big, car accident or being attacked or something like that physically. It's, trauma comes in all different ways for people. It just depends on the person. So this could be a more recent trauma that you're trying to come over or to get over. With this butterfly on the death card though, death and rebirth, you're kind of like you're in your chrysalis right now. You're like in your little cocoon in your hermit mode, where you've kind of went into hibernation almost. You kind of went into isolation, and you are in your cocoon where you are streamlining your energy body. You are literally transforming into another creature, another version of yourself. You're shedding the old you. And when you emerge out of this chrysalis, you're going to be coming in with your Queen of Swords energy. And again, I know I have men and women who both watch me. So, energy has no gender. So even though this is the Queen of Swords, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a woman. It could be anybody if it resonates for you. But you are you are standing up for yourself. You are taking like no shit from anybody. You are no longer going to make yourself feel smaller or dim yourself to make it easier for people to be around you. You're not going to shrink yourself to make it easier for someone to swallow. You are going to be more concise and direct, and even in some cases a little cold with your verbiage, with how you talk to people, because you're putting up your boundaries right now. You're not going to allow people to talk down to you or to think that they can come at you sideways or come at you crazy like they did before. Like, you are not the same person you were when they last saw you. And for some of you, that could have only been a couple of days or a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and in some cases a couple of years. It just depends. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different story. And some of these people might be really shocked, especially for those where it's been a couple of days or a week or a couple weeks where you've made this change, this transformation. Some of them are going to be flabbergasted that you are so different, but you just knew. you knew one day, you had a moment and you did the introspection, you had a aha moment, an epiphany, and you were like, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. And it can be that quick for some people, and sometimes it takes longer. It just depends. Everyone's different. Let's see what else. Okay, we have the High Priestess. Making sure that this is in frame for you guys. Ten of Pentacles. Ooh, King of Cups. Seven of Wands. Yeah, like I said, you're becoming, in some cases, some people might accuse you of being really defensive. Like, you're so defensive, like you're so argumentative, you always do that, blah blah blah. It's like, no, I'm putting up my boundaries, and you don't like that I'm protecting myself, that I'm not going to let you treat me this way. And that's definitely the feeling I'm getting, that these people, like I said before, some of these people think that they are, like, have control over what you do and say. Like, they feel like they're entitled to your freedom, which is, like, absolutely crazy to me. But with the High Priestess, like I said, some of you are being spiritually awoken right now. Your third eye is opening, and you are starting to see people for how they really truly are. You're starting to see your situation, just like we talked about this with this flying card. You're starting to see your situation in a bird's eye view, and you're seeing everything in its entirety. And you intuitively know that you've made the right decision, or that you're going to make the right decision by ending this cycle and reclaiming your power, reclaiming your strength, standing up for yourself, putting up your boundaries, and being the High Priestess and knowing exactly what people's true intentions and ulterior motives are for you. There's no wondering about if these things are going to happen to you by the way of these people, because you intuitively know that that's what's going to happen with for some of you. You intuitively know that these things that were happening to you that were not good were because of other people, whether it was because of their spirit of jealousy and envy, or if they were doing spell work. And I kind of want to just bring this up really quickly as a side note. When I say spell work, I don't mean like they're sitting in front of a cauldron like a witch in a hut, cackling, making potions and doing spell work. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know, maybe somebody's doing that, but when I say spell work, that's not what I mean. Spelling, as in when you're spelling words, just spelling words and just saying words, your words hold power. That is spell work. When you have a spirit of jealousy or envy and you wish ill will on somebody, or you wish that you had something that they had, or you wish that they didn't have what they had because you want it instead, that is spell work. That in and of itself is negative manifestation towards somebody else. That is sending spell work to somebody. So you intuitively know that these people around you who were not it, that were not going to be in your life for very much longer, they were sending you spell work. And the only way that you're going to get your 10 of Pentacles, your 9 of Pentacles, your King of Cups is to cut these people out. Whether that is entirely deleting them from your subconscious and your conscious mind, meaning like they might still be there, i.e. they might be a coworker or somebody in your family or somebody who's a friend of a friend that is still around because of whatever the circumstance or the situation is, but you are no longer giving this person your energy, your attention. You almost, you navigate your life as almost like they're not even there. They're like completely invisible to you. You spare no energy for this person. And I kind of lost my train of thought, I'm sorry, but if it comes back to me, I'll mention it. But yeah, to get to the 10 of Cups, you have to go through the 9 of Cups. So the 9 of Pentacles, sorry. The 9 of Pentacles is, gaining the rewards, finally, of your hard work. And the 10 of Pentacles is living that life, that abundant, wealthy, fruitful life, because of all the work you did all the way up to the 9 of Pentacles. So maybe this person that maybe if you're meeting somebody new, or whoever you're going to be spending, whoever your gator lover is here, whoever you might be meeting might be King of Cups energy. Or this could be you. Maybe after getting out of the, well, not getting out of it, how am I going to say this? So right now you're in this Queen of Swords energy because you are in the middle of everything and you are trying to protect yourself right now. Eventually, once you start to gain all this abundance and these people are nowhere to be found around you anymore, you might start to morph into more of a King of Cups energy. So a little bit of a masculine energy in the sense where you are very, what is the word I'm looking for? You're very, Spirit, what is the word I'm looking for? Like with the cups, you'll still be in tune with your emotions, but it's almost like you are going to be more considerate of the people's emotions around you as well as your own. You're going to have this sovereignty of being able to still have healthy boundaries for yourself, but still be able to be a little bit less cold. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to offer, you're going to want to offer things to people without having this feeling of these people are only trying to take from me, because you no longer are around those people who were actually taking from you. Interesting. What else, Spirit? What else, Spirit? Okay. Oh, okay. Do we have anything else while we're here, Spirit? Okay, thank you. Is that it? No? Okay, okay. What else? Is that it? Okay. That's funny. Yeah, so we had... I can't remember what exactly came out first, but we have... Oh, the lion did. That's right. So we have the King of Wands. Yeah, so the King of Wands... the Lovers. So this could be the person that you're meeting. If you're meeting, for some of you, you're meeting somebody new, eventually. Or, let me see, King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, that's counterpart energy. We have the Lovers, Two of Cups. So, some of you, yeah, okay. So some of you are going to be meeting your counterpart with the King and Queen of Pentacles. So after all these work with the Pentacles that we have here, you could very well start a family with this person, or have a child with this person, or they could have a child, or you could already have a child. But it's going to be very, very abundant. Like this person, you and this person could even start a business together with all these pentacles I'm seeing. Or it, you know, you could be just very wealthy. Like maybe you guys are both doing really well for yourself financially even before you guys meet each other, and then when you come together you're doing even better. But we have a whole pentacle family here with this King of Wands, the Lovers, and Two of Cups. This could be, I guess this is another person. This could be somebody else that some of you are meeting. This King of Wands, it could be a Leo or a fire sign in general. But this is someone who wants to take action, who's very upfront about what they want. They're very confident. With this yellow color that's on the lion's suit, I'm getting solar plexus chakra. So that all has to do with like drive, ambition, self-motivation, confidence. So this person is very, very, it's a go-getter, whoever this is. They're very, very focused, and they're like, you know, they take a lot of action. So with in couple in couple in tandem with the Lovers and the Two of Cups, whoever this is, they're going to be the kind of person that tells you like straight up how they feel about you. And they might not even care what your answer is right away, but they want you to know. They want you to know how they feel about you. And like with this Two of Cups here, even though that it shows two dolphins, it has the lion, the two wings, the two wings. So this is definitely going to be like a very intense, very like fiery relationship for some of you. For sure. I did see the Ten of Swords pop out here too. So this obviously, I'm reading this as your past, whatever you were going through before all of this is coming in. The Ten of Swords is usually pictured with somebody laying on their back or their stomach with 10 swords stuck in their back, being completely taken down, feeling like they are trapped. They are completely, they've been completely overpowered is what it usually signifies. And because I'm seeing this energy, this Ten of Swords energy as your past energy, your current energy, I'm seeing it as actually in the reverse. The Ten of Swords in reverse, where you're going to be free. You're not going to have these swords stuck in your wings. Oh my God, I just realized wings. Wings. Those birds and the fairy and the flying card. Yeah. I love that so much, Spirit. Thank you. So yeah, this is definitely confirmation for you that you are going to transform. You're going to grow your wings and fly and be free. Like whatever that looks like to you, whatever that situation is going to be for you, whatever your dream is, whatever you're manifesting for your future, you're definitely going to feel free. And like you can just, at a moment's notice, just spread your wings and go to the next place. Honestly, you're not going to be held down by anybody or anything anymore. What else? Ooh. Okay. What else do we have, Spirit? Do we have any more tarot for my collective? Can we have a couple cards explaining, giving some advice or some messages for my collective that's currently going through this shift right now? Do we have any advice or messages for my collective currently going through this shift right now, Spirit? My God, I am still having trouble shuffling these cards, man. I'm telling you, somebody really is trying to keep you from going to where you're supposed to go. They're trying to like really disable your action, your moving forwardness right now. Like, wow, I've never had so many issues with cards in a reading before, ever. So these were for your advice cards but this one came out before I asked the question. Strength. Yeah, so I'm going to take it as an advice card though too, because, you know, you're going to have strength to get through whatever you're going through right now, okay? So traditionally, the strength card on the Rider-Waite cards, they, show a woman who is, grabbing like a lion by like the mouth, essentially, like taming the beast, essentially. And that's the energy I'm feeling. Obviously, I mean, excuse me, it's still the strength card. It's just a different picture, but that's the feeling I'm getting, that you're going to have to wrangle these beasts, these demons, essentially, in your life or whatever your situation is. You're going to have to grab it by the mouth, grab it by the face, literally, and put it down by its neck and show it that you are in charge. You are the one who is making the decisions. You are the tamer. No one is going to overpower you anymore. We also got the Sun, ultimate happiness, and the Hierophant is God, source, the universe, so you have to trust in your strength, your God-given strength and your God-given gifts and talents, and also trust Spirit and God and the universe that your ultimate happiness with the Sun is coming. all of this stuff that's happening to you right now is happening to you for a reason. It is a catalyst for immense growth and productivity and moving forward in your next part of your journey. Some of you are kind of resistant to this change right now. Some of you, like I said in the very, very beginning, might be feeling a little bit nervous, anxious, or scared to make a change or to change things in your life. And some of these things are going to be forcibly taken from you by God, by the universe. Some of these things that you've been holding on to because of whatever situation you're in or whatever feeling that you're in, whether it's, stress, anxiety, whatever, some of these things are going to be taken from you because, the only way that you're going to listen, because you're a little bit stubborn, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit stubborn too. I have a little funny side story that I'll tell you, kind of exactly about what I'm talking about right now too. That you're going to have it taken away from you because you're stubborn, and the only way that you're going to move forward for the betterment of yourself is if these things are taken away from you out of your life, because that's the only way you're going to learn your lesson. And like I said, I'm not perfect either. So up until like earlier this week, I was working 2 day jobs alongside doing this for YouTube as well. And well, one was a day job and one was mainly night shifts. But anyway, I worked on, I don't know, a Monday or something. I worked until midnight. My shift was until midnight. I worked all night, and then I went to my other day job normally, so a day passed, and then I went to go to work at my night job again, and I had kind of already been planning to put in my 2 weeks notice at that night job because a lot of kind of shady, sketchy things were happening at work. The management at that location, unfortunately, is not great. And the person who's in charge at that location is not very nice. They're always trying to twist up the situation, twist the truths of things, accuse people of things that they haven't done, and try to make it seem like that place would not run without them kind of situation. They kind of display a lot of narcissistic personality traits, honestly. And it was getting to the point where this person was purposefully always attacking me over everything, over the smallest things. And I even started to get a little bit sick. I was getting migraines again, which I haven't had for a while. I've had maybe 1 or 2 in the last year. And that's really good for me, actually. I used to get migraines all the time from previous jobs that I was working at also. And I was just starting to feel not great about myself and physically, which is very out of character for me. I'm actually very in tune with my body. So I was like, something's not right, blah, blah, blah. And then I started to realize the things that this person was doing, and that my intuition was right. Like she was doing it on purpose. They were doing it on purpose to me. So I was like, you know what? After the last thing that they did, I think I'm going to put my notice in, whatever. So I go to put my notice in, or I'm telling myself I'm going to put my notice in at the right time, is what I'm saying. I'm going to find the right time to put my notice in. And then, it never happened. And then, like I said, this week I go back to work, and the manager there accused me of something that I didn't even do and fired me before I could even go into work. I was still in my car. I didn't even get out of my car to clock in, and they fired me. So, and I know for a fact that I did nothing wrong, but there was no other legal way for this person to fire me, because you can't just fire somebody because you don't like them, because that's illegal in America. So they made up some story and manipulated video footage to accuse me of something I didn't do so that they could fire me. And that's kind of what I'm saying, is that even though that sounds crazy and that sounds like something that you would like want to get really angry about and retaliate and be like, how dare you, blah, blah, whatever, and cursing and stuff like that, for me, being stubborn and being a workaholic, it would have taken me forever to officially leave that place because of just the way that I am. But God was like, no, literally the only way that you're going to not go to this place and work in this place you're not supposed to work at is if we take it away from you, if I take it away from you. And unfortunately, it sucked being accused of something I didn't do, but it was a blessing in disguise. I'm now able to focus on my YouTube channel more. I'm going to actually have my designated days off from my day job so I can actually relax, recuperate, and work on YouTube like this for you guys. So, maybe some of you are going through something like that. Maybe you're having some hard times at work or in a personal situation where you feel like people are accusing you of things that you didn't do, or saying that you are one way but that you're not that way, like you're untruthful, or that you're mean, or that you lie or something like that, or they're trying to like paint you in a bad picture to other people, and you are just you just have to get rid of these people, to be honest. Like they're not meant to be in your lives. They're not going to do any good being there, anymore. So yeah, I think that's what I have for you. I mean, I don't know. Let me check one more time. Do we have any more tarot spirit for my collective while we're here? Let's see if there's any other tarot. Is there anything else, spirit? No? Okay. Alrighty. So 5 of Cups, 3 of Wands. Yeah, so Spirit is so funny. So this 5 of Cups is like self-pity. I'm sad. Woe is me. But like, you wouldn't be in this position if you had just listened to me. Somebody just said that. I don't know who that is, but they are so sassy. Somebody was just like, you wouldn't be in this position if you had just listened to me. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to laugh, but I'm laughing because I know this feeling, this 5 of Cups feeling way too well. I've been through so many situations myself in the past where I myself have said that to myself in retrospect, and I've had people tell me that too, being like, well, if you had just listened to me, you wouldn't be in this situation. You made this decision, and now you got to deal with it. You made your bed. Now you got to sleep in it. And it's like, it sucks feeling that way, but yeah, no, that's funny. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to laugh at you. Actually, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at myself. But with the 3 of Wands here, this is someone who is looking into the future to sunnier days, looking, manifesting their future. You know what I mean? They are turned their back to whatever adversities that are coming towards them, and they're looking towards the future. The 3 of Wands can also signify expansion, creative expansion, and also travel, or some type of movement, traveling, moving away. For some of you, that could be significant. We also have the Ace of Swords, the 4 of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Yes, the 4 of Swords kind of is like taking a break and recuperating. So this kind of goes in hand with the Hermit card from the beginning, sort of, that you are getting to this point where you are at your limit with all of these things, negative things that are happening to you in whatever situation you're in. You're getting to the point where you kind of can't take it anymore. And you're going to have to retreat and go somewhere else, or leave that situation, or take some time away from that situation, and to take a break and to really think about if this is where you want to be. And with these Ace of Pentacles here, it's like an offer of some sort. So it could be a new offer for a new job. Maybe you've already started doing the job hunting and you're already putting in some applications. You might be getting a new job offer. In some cases, this could also be an offer of love, depending on what's going on. In this situation, we did say that we had like a pentacle family, with the King and Queen and Page of Pentacles and all these pentacles down here. So for some of you, you could be getting a proposal from your partner if you're not already married, or you guys could be renewing your vows after being married for however many years. In some cases, some of you could be getting pregnant, be with child, maybe even with like these flowers blooming, and the bird, the birds and the bees, or the whatever. There's no, I guess there's birds on that card from the beginning, from the birds and the bee. I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting that you could maybe, it could be a pregnancy too. With this Ace of Swords, this is like innovative thinking, getting through things in a way that you've never done it before. So brand new thinking outside of the box, accomplishing things in brand new ways than you have in the past. So that's pretty cool. With this expansion of creativity and this innovative thinking, that can be really, really in handy for some of you, especially if you're, trying to gain all of this wealth and abundance and kind of grow, financially and spiritually and creatively, and just expansion, lots of expansion with you guys. And yeah, I don't know. I just, every time I think that I'm done, I feel like I need to pull more cards. Let me just make sure there's not anything else. And then we'll see here. Do we have anything else, Spirit? Or is that it? Four of Pentacles. With the Four of Pentacles, Spirit is reminding me, I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's telling me to remind some of you to save your money, to be a little bit more stingy, but not in a bad way. Like, don't excessively spend your money. Try to put some money away in savings, because Spirit is saying that you're going to need it. I don't know, like I said, I don't know who needs to hear that, but that was a very last message that just popped in, that some of you are going to need to hold your finances close to you. Your things that you care about and the things that you have in your life, you need to hold them close to you, because some of these people are trying to take it away from you. Some of you are going to have to fight for what you want. For some of you, you're going to have to completely rebuild your savings, because somebody maybe in the past has used you for your money, or maybe you made a bad decision, or maybe like you were in a connection with like a friend or a partner who would always just spend your money, or you would just spend money on this person because you were just like, you didn't care. Maybe you were in love, or maybe you just, you just really cared about that person, or they're your best friend or whoever, and you just spent money without much care. And now you're getting to this point where you're going to have to pinch every penny, literally. Like, you're going to have to be more smart with your money. This also kind of ties in with this Five of Cups energy of, you're in the situation now because of the decisions you've made in the past, and you don't want to remake those decisions again. So just be careful. Every situation's different, and that's not going to be for everybody. Like I said, it was a very last message that just kind of popped in at the last minute. But that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Honestly, this reading was so fun. I'm glad that I was kind of able to get the flow back, because of those interruptions in the beginning. I was like, oh God, here we go again. But I was able to refocus and get the message out to you. Although I did kind of still stumble on my words. See kind of how I'm doing right now. So someone's definitely going to have to be more like concise. No, not concise. Well, yes, but that's not what I'm trying to say. Someone's going to have to speak up, stand up for themselves, speak their mind, whatever, even if it's hard, like with the stuttering and the stumbling over your words. Even if you think you can't do it or you're nervous, you're going to have to do it anyway. Somebody's going to have to do that and like stand up for themselves, even if it's scary. So that's one more last message. But anyway, that is it. That is what I see for you guys. Thank you so much for coming out and to hanging out with me. And I really, really hope that you guys have a great day. before you go, if you could hit the like button on your way out, I would really appreciate that, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. Sorry. It helps me to connect with your energy a lot more easy in the future for these readings. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys. Bye. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cece, and I'm going to be your intuitive reader for today. So I've been like deathly ill for like the last week and a half, almost to 2 weeks, and my energy was just totally off. Don't really know what was going on with that. Still not completely 100%, but I kind of wanted to hop on here anyway and see if I can maybe get a reading in for you guys. Spirit was kind of saying that I should at least try, so let's just see what's going on with you guys in the energy. What's going on, Spirit? Spirit, please protect me while I channel these messages for my collective. Ooh, okay. Please allow me to yeah, this keeps happening. Sorry guys, I keep getting like these mind blanks ever since I got really sick. Please allow me to interpret these messages clear and concisely for my collective, Spirit, and protect me while I channel. Thank you. So let's just get an idea of what we got going on here. So right off the bat, it looks like some of you are closing a cycle and starting a new one. For some of you, with the 7 of Cups here, you're going to have a lot of different options, but also this could also be illusions with these cups. So some of you are going to have to use your discernment, follow your intuition, meditate, pray, whatever it is that you do to find guidance in your daily life, to make sure that you are not moving too impulsively, or that you are not falling for any type of like illusions or any type of manipulations that aren't that you're not falling for any type of manipulations or anything like that that are going to be going against the path you're supposed to take. This could also be any type of delusions. So to, with this 3 of Wands here, this signifies travel and like wanting to go on an adventure and to travel, but it could also represent contemplation or self-reflection, or thinking about the future, or thinking about things a couple of steps ahead, to try to figure out what the best step to take is for what situation that you'll be going with. Excuse me, with these cups. With the 7 of Wands, that's going to be, having to stand on guard and to kind of protect yourself and to stand up for yourself and not allow things, situations, or people to kind of overtake you. What else do we have, Spirit, for my collective? We have the Hierophant. Yep. So this is kind of trusting in the universe, God, the divine, to kind of give you the insight and guidance that you need, whether it is to make a decision or to move forward in a decision you've already made. Knowing that, God and the universe has your back. This could also signify how spiritual you are. You could be going through a spiritual awakening right now, or maybe you are very spiritually intelligent in general. And this is after some time of growth and self-reflection. You know, it could have been a couple of months, it could have been a couple of years for some. It just depends. But now that you're at this next part of your life, you know, with this going into this new cycle, you are very spiritually mature. You've grown a lot in your spirituality from wherever you were a couple of months or a couple of years ago to where you are now currently. Excuse me. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I'm still not 100%, but I wanted to hop on here and see. We have the Six of Pentacles. This is a card of generosity. This could also be being very stable enough to be able to help other people around you. Kind of like getting what you give. So being able to be generous and compassionate and helpful to other people around you, and kind of getting that good karma back to you, paying it forward almost is what I'm hearing. Oh my gosh, everything just flew. What else do we have? We have the World. Yeah, so with this World card, like I said, something is coming to completion. There is, her boobies are out, so I'm gonna cover her with the Wheel of Fortune. With this World card, it symbolizes something coming to an end, coming to fruition, perhaps leading to your Ten of Pentacles, which is your ultimate stable and happy life. So kind of like I said, with this whole pay it forward with the Six of Pentacles, getting all the good karma back to you from what you've been giving out into the world and into the universe, getting it back in the Ten of Pentacles, excuse me. We got the Nine of Wands in reverse. So not a lot of blockages. There's not going to, not very many blockages in your way. It seems like, with that in reverse. Normally it would be something of being normally in the upright, it's like a blockage or blockages, and you having to kind of endure a very difficult time or something like that. But with it in the reverse, I'm seeing it as you are kind of already going on this path, or you've already been on this path, and all those hardships and blockages are in the past. Because like I said, with these two completion cards here, it seems like you're kind of getting to the end of a hard situation. We have the Eight of Wands with things coming in very quickly with fast movement, lots of forward movement. Also with the King of Pentacles, again, like I said, you're going to be living this Ten of Pentacles kind of life. So with coming up as the King of Pentacles, that's somebody who has, financial stability, financial sovereignty of their life. So perhaps not living paycheck to paycheck, being able to have an actual savings that's going to be a nice, what's the word I'm looking for? A nice fallback situation, just in case something were to happen, because things aren't perfect. And with the cyclic behavior of life and the way things start and end, it's good to be prepared. Better safe than sorry, as they say. What else, Spirit? This one flipped over. Where is it? We have the Eight of Swords. So be cautious that one of these options or illusions or delusions, whatever Every situation is different for every person. Make sure that one of these situations is not going to end up leaving you in the Eight of Swords energy, where you feel taken advantage of, or you feel stuck in one place, like you can't move, or like you can't be free. With this not bandana, oh my gosh. What is the word I'm looking for, Spirit? With this cloth over her eyes, she can't see what's in front of her. She can't see that she's being bound and tied down, but she is in this card. So I see this as like a warning, and also a reminder that you're no longer in this energy anymore. You're no longer going to be stuck feeling like this because of the hard work you've put in already in the past. And with this Four of Pentacles, this is depicting, somebody who's holding their pentacles very close to them. So not wanting to let go of something, not wanting to give it out. And I think it's really interesting that we got this after the Six of Pentacles had already come out. So in some cases, you might feel like this Four of Pentacles, where you don't want to give away any money or anything. You don't want to give out help because it feels like if you do, I'm so sorry, excuse me. And then if you do, there's going to be some type of lack there. But with the way the universe works, that's definitely not how that works. Holding on to something and holding it too closely and too tightly creates a energy of poverty and scarcity, which then that's what you attract. So that's why when you are in the Six of Pentacles energy, where you're very generous and compassionate and you give to people, that's why you receive in return back from the universe, because that's how energy is. You attract the energy that you are. How you feel about yourself and how you treat other people and what you put out into the universe is what comes back to you. So these two cards here are kind of like reminders that you're no longer in that energy anymore. You don't need to wallow in the Eight of Swords energy or the Four of Pentacles energy of feeling, trapped, perhaps living paycheck to paycheck, you know what I mean? Feel like you can't move forward. That living in those energies is not what's going to get you your Ten of Pentacles and your King of Pentacles, basically, is what Spirit is trying to say. Ooh. What else do we have here, Spirit? Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, so, you're not going to get all of these things without, putting in the work, without hard work and consistent energy and time. You don't just automatically show up to with the Ten of Pentacles out of nowhere. Like, in the past you were in Four of Pentacles and you had to get over this feeling of scarcity to eventually pass over the Five of Pentacles, which is, financial ruin and, actual poverty and scarcity financially, to get to the Six of Pentacles, where you're able to get to a point where you're able to give back to people because you've finally gotten out of that energy. And then you have to then keep going past the Seven of Pentacles, which is, patience and putting in investments and being able to get to the Eight of Pentacles, where now that you've put in the thing, you've laid down the groundwork essentially, and you've put in the energy you need to put in. Now you have to work on your side also, on your end, and have to put in the actual hard work for it to eventually be able to pass over the Nine of Pentacles to get to your Ten of Pentacles. With this it's Four of Swords here, excuse me. This is signifying taking some type of break, whether that's a physical break or a mental break. So whether this is what you have to do before you start putting in the hard work to make that decision to start working towards your future, or this is something that you do periodically after the fact, that you take, care of yourself, you show yourself honor and respect by every once in a while taking a break to regroup, to recharge, to think about your life, to be grateful. What else, Spirit? What else do we have for my collective, Spirit? Do we have anything, Spirit? Or do I want to pull some oracle cards? Oh, okay, we have a couple. So yeah, whatever you're going to be doing, you're going to be having like recognition. You're going to be getting praise, even awarded for some of you, whether that's in a job or maybe maybe somebody that you've wanted to acknowledge you, whether it's your hard work or your work ethic or how you live your life or the example that you're setting for the people around you. You're going to be getting that recognition. Someone's going to realize how hard of a worker you are, how hard you've been working. They're going to praise you for getting where you are. Some of you might be feeling a little bit stressed or anxious about, if these manifestations are going to be coming true, because, right now you're putting in all this work, and for some of you, until you get that recognition that you deserve, to be honest, with the Six of Wands, you might be feeling a little bit like you're overthinking too much, or that you're feeling a little bit like this is all too much. But Spirit is saying that, it's normal to feel that way sometimes, but to not get caught up in that feeling, because, you are the co-creator. Yeah, see, with the Ace of Swords here, you are the co-creator of your life. You work in tandem, like alongside with God in the universe. So you don't need to be worried about this Nine of Swords energy, because you have the universe and God on your side, and you have this innovative way. Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. You have this innovative way of thinking and doing things, and no one does your job like you. No one does the way you do things the way that you do. No one's going to be able to step up and replicate that really to its entirety, because whatever you're doing has your, it's got your mark on it. It's got your little taste on it. It's got your zing on it. And, not everyone can replicate that. And with this with this Nine of Swords, that's exactly kind of what I was saying. Like this, I feel like this is your way of thinking and your sharp mind and how smart you are and how witty and quick you are to create these new situations for yourself, and being able to solve problems very quickly, being able to make new ventures into things because of how intelligent and how different you are, how creatively intelligent you are. And this is the action that you take with making those things come into fruition, like with this World card here, with the completion card, because you have the ambition, the drive, the strength behind all of these ideas as well. go through here one more time and see if we have any more tarot. We have the Three of Swords in reverse. So for some of you, you know, you're not worried about being like betrayed or anything like that, or having like any type of relationship or partnership fall through because you rely on yourself more than you rely on other people. This could also be that, you know, if some of you are waiting for some type of apology or something from somebody, thinking that, you know, you're going to get that apology from them because of maybe something they did or said to you in the past, you're not going to get it. It's honestly better just to kind of move on. Whatever like happy ending that you thought you were going to get with somebody, you know, they weren't the right person for you, is what I'm hearing for some of you. This reading definitely is more of like a career reading or something like that, or just like a moving in forward in your life on a new path, kind of whatever. But these kind of shot out kind of like more like on a love scale. So I don't know, maybe somebody needed to hear that. Maybe. I'm just looking at my oracle cards here off to the side and trying to see which ones I feel called to use. I'm kind of looking at the enchanted map over here. Maybe we'll grab that one. Let's see. Alrighty. Okay, let's see. What else do we have from my collective spirit? We have a couple more cards before we end off, because I think I'm just going to read from the guidebook. Well, I don't know. I always say that, and then I always end up seeing something intuitively before I read in the guidebook. So let's just see what we got. We have Field of Dreams, Cleaning House, Rock Bottom, and Mountain. So instantly with this Rock Bottom card, like I said, this is something that some of you may have been in the past where you felt like, you know, trapped, like you weren't going to go forward. The guidebook says surrender and accept all. Oh my God. Surrender and accept are the keys to freedom. So hitting rock bottom, but people always say that when you hit rock bottom, it's kind of like the lowest you've ever been, and you almost kind of like your eyes are almost open in a way that it sheds light for people to show them exactly where they never want to be again, and then it kind of motivates them to keep going. That's kind of what I'm seeing with this rock bottom card. Excuse me. It says, as difficult as it may be to accept, it seems that you've reached a point where you can go no further in the same manner in which you've been doing things. So this is going to, when some of you are at this rock bottom point, you know, had to make a bunch of huge changes in your life. You had to end a cycle and start a new one, because there was no way you could move forward anymore in the life you were living and how you were living it. You were going to have to clean house. Some of you already done this. especially with the whole thing with, you know, with it being spring and stuff like that. So some of you might be like literally actually cleaning house, getting rid of things that don't have any purpose in your life anymore, energetically cleaning house, getting rid of things and people and situations that no longer serve you, to move forward toward your field of dreams. Your field of dreams is, you know, when you look at your whole life and your whole future in a large scope, you're able to see everything that you want to make come to fruition. Excuse me, guys, I gotta get a little bit of water because my throat is so dry, especially after being sick. So you have all these little fairies that are going to help you create the future that you want. Let's see kind of a little bit more about what it says for the field of dreams. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are always engaging the vast field of pure potential. This is the perfect time to harness the field of vast potential not yet realized in your life. Great abundance is yours if you're willing to do the work alongside the gentle gardener. So, you know, gardening takes patience. You can't just plant a seed and expect to see something in 3 days later. You know what I mean? So you have to accept that once you've hit this rock bottom, that, you know, climbing this mountain is going to take time. You know, cleaning out your house and restarting again, starting afresh, starting anew is going to take time. Tending to your garden is going to take time. You can't just expect to see something fully grown and perfect in a week. You know what I mean? These things are going to take time. So even though it might seem like it's not going anywhere, like nothing's growing, you just have to keep tending your garden. You have to keep giving it nutrients and giving it sunlight and water. In time, things will start to grow. That's like your ideas. That's like your future. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but it's, you know, not everything is going to be so fast. Even if you think it might, even if you want it to be fast, sometimes it takes time. And, you know, you can, like, you know, if you, let's say you want to go, you do want to tend to your garden a little faster, you might buy a seedling rather than a normal seed, where all you have to do is have the proper soil and the proper nutrients to put the seedling in, and then, you know, the growth time is much faster. So there's nothing wrong with finding things that help you expedite those processes a little bit better, but it's still something that's going to consider, it's going to, what's the word I'm looking for? It's still going to require, you know, nourishment, nurturing. It's still going to require attention and patience. So just keep that in mind when you try to rush things. Sometimes it's not going to be as fast as you think. But Spirit is saying that you're still going to get there if you continue to believe and to be patient and to climb and to tend to your garden, and know that this is never where you want to be again, that you can do it. And that is what I'm seeing for you guys right now. I would love to go on for longer and longer for you guys, but right now I physically can't. I don't want to be coughing in your ear the whole time. But that is the main message that Spirit has for you. I hope that you found what you needed. And if you haven't thought about it or haven't subscribed, please kind of think about it. It helps me connect to your energy much easier in the future. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's, you know, a nice way to help me and to help me grow and to allow me to connect to you a little bit better. And I hope you guys have a great day or night or wherever you are, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cece, and I'm going to be your intuitive reader for today. So it's been a minute. Had to take a little bit of time off. Let's just see what we got for you. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know. Let's check the energy. Spirit, please connect me to my collective, please. And protect me while I channel these messages for them and anything not of the divine plan or the light is no longer welcome. Amen. Okay. So let's see what angel numbers we have for you to get an idea. Excuse me, geez. I just started this reading and my throat's already acting funny. Okay, so that's interesting. We have 2424 with good times. Let's see, 2424 with good times. Leisure, rest, holiday, pleasure, love, affection, kindness, and happiness. These just flew out. It's a little bit too much though, Spirit. You are worthy of affection, leisure, and pleasure. If you tell your family or your friends how you feel, you'll find that you're all on the same page and can work together effectively. Many people are rooting for you. If you spread love, it will find its way back to you multiplied. So some of you could be feeling like, I don't know, like unlovable, or like you don't deserve the things that are meant for you. And I think that this card is just reminding you that, you know, you are worthy of those things, and maybe you need to reach out to the people around you, because, you know, you're not alone. Even if you feel like you're alone, you're not. And you'd be really surprised to find that if you're open and honest about what's been bothering you or about what's going on with you, that there might be some people in your life that are either going through the same thing and you can help each other, or have gone through something that you've already gone through, or completely validate and understand your feelings. But you would never know that unless you were honest and open with them, you know? We also have 0404 with slow down. Pay close attention to the people in your life, your surroundings, and your physical health. Don't freak out. It's just a warning to be careful and awake to avoid any further issues. Communicate clearly and keep healthy boundaries. Yeah, so some of you, Spirit is saying that some of you need to be more aware and more aware of your surroundings, the people you keep in your life. I know I'm guilty of this too in the past, so, because, I'm not perfect, but, I've been guilty of in the past of not being so nice to myself, and, kind of neglecting myself, my health, all that kind of stuff, due to, the stress I was in and the situations I was in. And this card is just urging you to kind of warn you that, to avoid any further issues that might be detrimental to your mental, physical, and spiritual health, that it's good to communicate clearly. Don't bottle things up and let it fester. Don't hold grudges. Be open and honest and clear in your communication, but still be able to have, healthy boundaries that you don't allow people to cross, but not also keeping yourself completely isolated as well, to maybe further breed that unhealthy kind of behavior of spiritual low vibrations and, physical discomfort or unhealthiness or anything like that. I just can't seem to get these cards to look straight in the camera today for some reason. We have change with 555. You are going to level up. It might not feel good initially, but it will prepare you to handle the greater things in your life for your highest good. That is the why you've been looking for. Push through it. There's reward waiting at the finish line. Yeah, so making some of these changes might feel a little bit uncomfortable. Like, for some of you, getting out of your comfort zone is what is going to actually push you into this change and bring you closer to your personal power with this 8888 card. All that is good and pleasant in your life will multiply. Angels are sending the number to reassure you of the prosperity and well-being ahead. Your surroundings will treat you with admiration and respect. Use it for your greater good. So with this card, the first thing I saw, or the first thing I thought of whilst reading that was, if you show people and show, the universe that you're serious about your boundaries and you're serious about what you said when you said it and meaning it, and you're true to yourself, that your surroundings, so like the world around you, the people around you, they will start to respect those boundaries and respect you. You'll start to draw in more positive, high vibrational energy via situations, people, places, and things that will treat you with respect in response to the way that you are carrying yourself and you are treating yourself in your own life. It's about living completely unafraid and unabashedly in your personal power. And with the 7777 card, with perseverance, some of you have been through a lot. You've been through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of trials and tribulations, and you've had to persevere, and you've had to kind of harden yourself in such a way to almost kind of keep yourself safe in the past. And I think, that may, for some of you, have resulted in really, really, really strong boundaries, but to your own detriment, that you are now kind of isolated from some people. It says here, there's a need for a change of perspective on whatever has taken over you now. If you want to succeed, you need to keep going down the road you're on. Reach for the wisdom within, and then you'll just know what the right step is. So I'm sensing for some of you, these boundaries and things that you've put up due to whatever situations you've been through in the past, have been put up by your ego, meaning that the isolation and the boundaries that you've put up have kind of hindered your self-growth in the sense that you are putting up these boundaries in a state of fear and keeping everything and everyone out, rather than putting up healthy boundaries that state your self-worth. So I think that with this saying that you need to change the perspective on whatever's going on with you right now, I think that you need to take a good look at everything and really think about it and really look inside yourself and to the universe and to the divine and figure out what part of the whole scope that you're not seeing clearly. You can do that through meditation. You can do that through daily prayer if you pray. Let's see. Reach for your wisdom within. Yeah, you can, when you do your meditations, or what's the word I'm looking for? What is it called? When you do, like, I guess self-reflection is another word for it. That wasn't really the term I was looking for, but yeah, when you look inside of yourself and you kind of go deep inside your mind's palace and you're really in a deep meditative state, or like a trance almost, looking into yourself and trying to find the wisdom that's already locked inside of you. We're very spiritual beings. We have a lot of past experiences and a lot of past wisdom that we don't have access to right now, or maybe some of us do and some of us don't. And everything you need to grow and to succeed and to bring your dreams into life is already locked inside of you. You just have to unlock it. With this Soul Giraffe card, I'm going to quickly read from the guidebook, because I'm kind of getting an idea just from the card itself intuitively, but I do want to see kind of what it has to say, because I feel like some of these guidebooks, they're written by the creator of the decks, and they have different insights and guidance and stuff in them. So let's see. Yes, it says here, the attributes for this card are vision, grace, higher vantage, and seeing obstacles. So yeah, this is kind of like a confirmation of what I was saying about changing your perspective, getting a wider vantage, seeing all the obstacles, being able to see through a wider scope, seeing your situation more clearly. The Soul Giraffe is here to help you with your grander vision, to allow you to see higher and farther. The long neck of the Soul Giraffe gives you an elevated view of what's on the horizon, as well as other vantage point of the big picture. We're also reminded that perhaps we cannot label something as good or bad, or right or wrong, unless we can see the full picture. The giraffe gracefully glides along the path, spotting what others cannot. So, yeah, you have to kind of shift your perception of your whole situation right now. I'm hearing that some of you are going to have to find out the truth about certain situations. Maybe you heard something through other people or something like that, but you don't know if it's completely true. Or maybe you're having like intuitive feelings and downloads about a situation or a person or something like that, that is making you feel like you can't fully trust them or something like that. And Spirit is saying that looking too closely at that one thing is going to take away from seeing the bigger picture and being able to see what you need to actually see because you'll be too focused on this one aspect of the situation where you could be seeing the whole thing as a whole to gain more information and more confirmation and more knowledge and wisdom about what is really going on around you. We have a light grows brighter only by lighting another. So instantly when I see this, the first thing I think of is obviously the solar plexus chakra with all this yellow, but also that either you feel like, people aren't always uplifting you, like you feel like there's something lacking in that department in your life, that like maybe no matter who you surround yourself with, there's just something about your light that seems to irritate them, or you feel like people don't lift you up, they don't uplift you, they don't give to you like you give to them. And for some of you, this card represents how you uplift people and how you encourage people to be better, and you help them, and you're very, generous and giving and warm. A light grows brighter only by lighting another. Yeah, so I'm also I don't know why I'm hearing this, but I'm hearing like no gatekeeping. So how do I explain that, Spirit? Okay, so just because you light another candle doesn't mean that the first candle that was lit is no longer a candle or no longer shining light into the room that it's in. So it doesn't matter. This is saying like it doesn't matter that you are helping other candles light and find their flame. You are still a candle that is shining brightly. You're still the first candle that needed to be lit to provide, fire to all these other candles. It doesn't lessen your shine or doesn't dim your shine or your fire. Because you've helped other candles light. The only way that that your candle is gonna go out is if you completely burn out to the very bottom with no more wax, or if something or someone comes by and puts the flame out manually. So, do not let yourself feel snuffed out by some other people or situation, or whatever it is that you're dealing with. There's nothing wrong with flickering a little bit here and there, because I think that's natural for that to happen, but don't allow yourself to feel snuffed out. And in the event that your flame does go out for some reason, guess what? You're filled in a room of other candles that you've already lit in the past. And do you think that those other candles, those other people that you've uplifted, that you've helped find the light inside of them, do you think that they're going to let you stay unlit? If these people truly are grateful to you and truly care about you like you care about them, then the answer is no. They're going to come back and relight your flame, because you give what you get. Or no, you get what you give. Sorry. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Let's see. We got the universe. Yep, the universe has your back. The universe favors you. You don't have to worry about what may or may not happen because the universe has your back. Trust in the universe also, I'm hearing. It might not seem like things are happening or things are going the way that you want, or you might feel stagnant right now, but the universe is saying to trust. Trust that things aren't going to stay the way that they are right now. You are in the middle of a shift right now. Big things are going to be happening. These people that you've uplifted and helped to grow into strong flames in the past are here to also be helpful to you in response as their thanks to you for all the things you've done for them. With this card up here saying that you need to be open and more honest with your communication with the people around you, and that you'll find that you are on the same page. That's kind of what that card is saying. We have, you are perfectly imperfect. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but I am being urged to kind of just talk about it a little bit, that everybody is imperfectly perfect. You are made in a way that is unique and worthy and deserving of the things that you want in life, and everyone is different in their own way. You are perfectly imperfect is another way of just reminding you that you are beautiful and that you are protected, and there's no problem with being different and unique, and you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be a carbon copy of what society tells you, or what your parents told you growing up, or what people around you think that you are. You are a perfectly imperfect version of yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. You decided to wake up, or else why did you draw me? So with this card, I'm kind of feeling like just keep going on your path, even if it seems hard, even if you don't want to get out of bed in the morning, even if you think everything is shit and that it's never going to be better. The universe is saying, well, you got up, didn't you? You're doing your thing, aren't you? There's a part of you that wants to keep going. There's a part of you that wants to fight for this, even if you feel like you don't want to. Let's see here. What if you left clues and signs for yourself as wake-up calls for this lifetime, knowing you would fall asleep to your true mission? These symbols appearing in books, movies, songs, colors, names, etc. are calling you. There's a reason you've been drawn to this cosmic journey right now, and drawing this card is the next jolt forward. Pay attention. What is real? We can dream while fully awake, but we have to choose to wake up first. You're both the dreamer and the dreamed, ready to bring your dream to life. I love that. That was cute. Okay, so sorry. I've got to move something off my table here. There we go. Oh no. Everything is uneven now. No. Alrighty. So let's get into the tarot and see what other messages come out. Spirit, what is going on with the energy with my collective? What other messages do you have for them? What other messages do we have for my collective? I think that my microphone cord is now in the way because I moved everything. That's annoying. Okay. What other messages do we have for my collective today, Spirit? Well, that card wanted to come out, but it slipped right back in. We have the King of Swords. Yeah, some of you are refining your voice right now. you're being, like I said, you're being very, some of you are going to be very clear in your communication. You're going to be speaking up about what it is that you desire to do, what you desire to change in your life. Some of you are going to be standing up for yourself more. You're going to have almost like an authoritative air about you that people are going to notice. You're going to be demanding respect. You like command the room, that, you know, every room that you walk in. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So some of you have been waiting for this for a long time, feeling kind of like, you know, this breakthrough is never going to happen, or it's taking forever. How am I ever going to get to the next spot? It's like I'm always harvesting and harvesting and harvesting like a squirrel. You know how they like try to harvest for the whole winter by like hiding acorns and nuts everywhere, and then like if you come across it, it's like hundreds of thousands of acorns, and you're like, where did these acorns come from? It also could be like maybe some of you might need to let some things go. Like maybe you've gathered and harvested so much, but it's kind of just been hoarded in this place, not being used. It's like a just in case thing. But I'm hearing that Spirit is saying that for some of you, holding on to whatever that is and it just being there and it not actually being used is actually you holding on to something that is actually holding you back from moving forward, because that just in case, oh, we need to have this just in case type of feeling, kind of energy is almost like living, it's almost like a state of lack or scarcity, where you're so focused on, well, what if I don't have this, or what if I need this, or what, you know, at any moment what I have can be gone, so I need to have all this stuff stockpiled for me. That is living in a state of lack and scarcity, instead of being in a mindset of abundance and trust in God and the universe. So that's kind of what I'm hearing with the Seven of Pentacles for some of you. Ooh, we got the Queen of Swords. So somebody could be getting into a new relationship soon, or some of you could already be in a relationship. You could be married or in a very serious relationship with your partner, with, you know, the King and Queen of Swords I'm getting here. This could also just be, you know, the divine feminines and divine masculines that watch me. It could just be two sides of either coin. So, I mean, take whatever resonates. If you are already in a connection, you already have a partner. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I like never yawn during my readings. That's so weird. Then, you know, if you're in a partnership already or with your partner, take that if it resonates. If you're not, that's totally fine. But the Queen of Swords is the King of Swords partner, is the other side of that. So, you know, you're also, like I said, you're standing up for yourself. You're commanding respect and taking authority of your life. So for some of you, it might come off as a little rigid or a little cold, but again, you're doing this out of the boundaries you've set because of what you've gone through in your past. So you're not doing it to be mean, or you're not doing it to be, you know, rude or whatever like that to anyone in particular. Those are just your boundaries that you have up. And we also have the King of Pentacles. So one of the things in your life, like I was kind of mentioning with the Seven of Pentacles, one of the areas in your life is you want to have like full trust in the universe and in yourself, knowing that, you know, you are taken care of. So you have a lot of, for some of you, a lot of you have a lot of money, in your savings, or a lot of money stockpiled somewhere. But, saving money is obviously a good thing, because it's always nice to have savings. It's always nice to be able to know that, you have the means to take care of yourself and, your family, if you have a family in the future if needed. But there's also like not a great thing about if you're not going to spend that money a little bit. Again, like I said, living in that state of lack or scarcity draws in more lack and scarcity energetically. So you have to use your money somehow, even if it's just a little bit here and there. You don't need, don't blow your money. Obviously, with the King of Pentacles, this person is very responsible with money, and is aware of their spending habits or lack thereof, depending on the person, and is very good at managing that. So it's not like you're going to go crazy, balls to the wall, and spend all your money and then have no more savings. But there's nothing wrong with using that money a little bit too, to invest in further things for your future, to actually get the things that you need that you've been putting off because you're afraid of not having any more money. Put your money into things that are good for you and that will actually bring you something in return for your future. Don't just spend your money on stupid stuff, and don't just blow it all. With the Hanged Man here, this is more confirmation on having to shift your perspective on your situation. For some of you, the Hanged Man card is kind of urging you to kind of hang in there, essentially. No pun intended. Well, actually, no, it was intended. But to just kind of like hang in there. You are in the process of discovering something very interesting about your situation right now. So you have to, kind of be patient and to kind of observe and watch everything and see what is going to unfold. You are not necessarily being urged to take huge action, but more to learn and observe from your situation. And while you widen your scope and see everything, the big picture of everything, not only what's happening to you in front of you, Spirit is saying that's how you will start to see what your next steps are going to be. You will start to understand the next steps you have to take in your life to kind of move forward. We also had the Knight of Swords come out when I was shuffling. So some of you, if, like I said, with this King and Queen here of Swords, if you are in a partnership, you could have a child with this person. If you obviously that's not for everybody, but you could have a child with this person. I'm kind of seeing that, like, with this like horse and this like really colorful bird, and how like kind of like her dress is blowing in the wind. I'm kind of seeing how this could also kind of represent like a fearless, kind of like childlike way of dealing with things. So kind of like, like sometimes children, they aren't really afraid of anything until something bad happens to them. So until that bad thing happens that creates a fear of something, they kind of just like go full force, like charge ahead into things without really thinking, kind of like almost recklessly or carelessly, because like I said, they're young, they haven't learned those lessons yet. So in their mind, there's nothing to be afraid of yet. And that's kind of what I feel with the Knight of Swords right now, is that's kind of like the way that you have to approach things, as if you've like never been burned, or that you're not afraid of something, that you've never learned that lesson of why something is scary. is kind of what I'm hearing with the Knight of Swords. We also got the Four of Cups. So yeah, some of you, like I said, some of you have definitely been like really focused on certain things that are keeping you where you're at, whether that's finances, relationships, your job, a specific person, you know, whatever. Like, some of you are highly focused on these empty cups, or I don't know if they're empty, but like these cups over here, and you're not realizing that there's like an offer or something better or complementary to you that you're completely ignoring or not even seeing because you're so focused on whatever's happening over here. And again, like I said, this I don't want to be a broken record, because I feel like sometimes when I do messages, I hear like the same two messages like over and over again, because it's like spirit really wants to get the message through. But you have to see the bigger picture. There's, for some of you, even if it's only for like one person, I don't know, it just keeps coming up every time I'm bringing up something new. I keep hearing that they need to see the full picture. There's something for this could, like I said, this could be for like one person. There's something that you're not seeing, or that you're not recognizing, or that you're not realizing is there, or it's like blurry, or you can't make it out. I don't know what it is, but there's something in this big picture that one of you or some of you, I don't know how many people it's for, that you are not seeing. So just think about that. You might need to take a step back so that you can see more and farther. We have the Six of Swords. So I instantly see with this card, with the tortoise and the hare, that, you know, rushing into things without much thought or caution is going to overwork you, tire you out. You're going to feel like, you know, you're going to get to this place after rushing and realizing that you're not ready for anything that you just rushed for. So now you have to sit and wait while all those things kind of catch up with you. All those people kind of catch up with you. And you kind of have to be bored, and you kind of have to like learn the hard way that now you have to sit here and kind of think about, like, why did I rush so much? Like, there was no reason to rush. The road isn't going anywhere. The path isn't going anywhere. So for some of you, don't get too impulsive and don't get too anxious and then rush things either. Another meaning for the Seven of Pentacles card, rather than like harvest and like holding, you know, and having things stockpiled, is patience, is having the patience to put in the work to harvest, you know, to plant something and watching it grow and then being able to harvest it. It's also kind of the meaning of that card as well. We have the Five of Cups. Yes, so whatever this is, the Six of Swords card here that just came out, whatever situation it is that's making you feel like you want to rush, or that you want to beat everybody to the finish line or whatever, but then getting tired halfway through and then having to just sit there and kind of catch your breath while everyone passes you by, is going to lead you into this Five of Cups energy where you're disappointed in yourself and you're upset and you're, you know, and you're like, kind of like, why did I do that? Yeah, but it's kind of, the Five of Cups is notorious for being a card of, you know, we understand that you're sad and that you're disappointed and you're hurt and stuff like that, but you kind of did it to yourself, in the sense where like you're in this situation because of what you've done on the road headed up to this point. So like I was saying, like with the Four of Cups here, with being really, really focused on these other things and not seeing the good things or the offer or the thing that's going to help you. And now you're in the Five of Cups where, you know, you have no idea why things are turning out the way that they are. You know, these cups are spilled on the floor. You feel trapped in this net. You want to cry and complain, but it's like, but you're here because you ignored your cup. You know what I mean? I had a train of thought about this, the other meaning of this card, and I totally. Oh yeah, and the other thing I think with this card is, now that you're in this point, you know, the past is the past. There's no use crying over spilled milk. Just clean it up and move on. Like, you know, at this point, we can't change the past. What's done is done. You know, we already made the choice to focus on these other things in our life. We've already came this far and run impulsively, and we've thought about it. Now we just have to kind of think about how we're going to move in the future and not be so impulsive and rushing into things. Because like with this Knight of Swords, that's also rushing into things kind of carelessly as well. Like, you just need to keep in mind that, you know, like I said, you're not seeing the full picture of something. So whether you're running away from something or running towards something without being prepared, there's something that you're not seeing in the whole situation that's around you, that you need to kind of figure out what that is. Whether that's looking inside of yourself, asking God, the divine, the universe, what, you know, whoever, to show that to you, to bring light, to shed light onto that. Some of you, I see with this card, some of you are meant for something so much greater than what you're doing right now. And it's almost like deep inside, you know that, but for some reason you're so focused on what's happening to you, like in this moment in your life, so much so that you have like completely forgotten your dreams and your goals for your future, and you're focusing so hard only on like what's right in front of you. So like, for example, working so hard at some retail store, and you become so over obsessed and so consumed in that job to where, like, you know, you want to try to be like the manager, and you want to try to like move up in the company, and you want to like, when it started out as a part-time job just to kind of get you extra money to focus on your goals and your dreams, but like something happened along the way that like discouraged you from your goals and dreams, and now it's like you're like so focused on this job that you're not even really supposed to be in, if you're being honest with yourself, but you've become so sucked up in it that you've like forgotten that you're a star, that you're like divine, and that you have all these gifts that you're supposed to be using to fulfill your soul's purpose. And we have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, and some of you are going to have to come to terms with like leaving those situations that you were in, those situations that, you know, for a lack of a better term, are not important in the grand scheme of things. Also, I just realized that this is a giraffe, and we had that soul giraffe card with the other oracle deck. Interesting that it's the walking away card, because even though on the outside looking in, someone might think that your situation's really good, like, oh, you know, they have a consistent, stable job, you know, they're making good money, blah, 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 you know. So to other people, it might seem like you're leaving something good behind, but you know, in your heart and in your soul and in your, you know, your intuition knows that even though it might be good, or what other people consider to be good, it's not your sole purpose. So, you know, you're going to have to find a way to walk away from that and go on a, you know, start on your path, whether that's working in a different field or doing some type of job that is actually more aligned with your target soul purpose, you know, with your goals and your dreams, to allow you to grow on the correct path, or if that's like completely not working for anybody else ever, and trying to start your own business, or being an entrepreneur, or doing something from home or something. I don't know. It could be different. There's a lot of people. It could be something different for everybody. But let's see. We have the Tower. Yeah, so you're, you know, leaving this job, or it doesn't have to be a job, but like leaving this situation and doing something that's more aligned with your purpose, and making that change is gonna feel like a super crazy big tower moment for some of you. You know, the Tower represents things seemingly to be going great, things that are, you know, on the path to being, you know, perfect or whatever. Everything seems to be going fine, and then a huge upheaval comes and completely uproots everything, and completely just all the way F's things up. And you're totally blindsided in some cases. That's what that might feel like. It might feel like, you know, I know, okay, it's like, okay, God, you told me to like move towards my soul purpose, and I left this job, and, you know, now I'm going to try to go on my path. But it's like, but why the frick does it feel so hard? Like, why is everything falling apart? Like, it might feel like that, but, you know, to be another strong tower that's not going to crumble in the future, you need to have a strong foundation. And when you're in the wrong foundation, i.e. that job or that situation, you're unable to fill your tower up with things that are for your sole purpose without it crashing, because it wasn't the right foundation to begin with. So, you know, in some cases you're going to need to tear everything down to rebuild. And yeah, and the High Priestess here is saying that you intuitively know that. Some of you have been knowing that for, you know, weeks, months, years, whatever, that for you to be able to like truly go down your path and live your soul purpose and actually meet your dreams and your goals, that you are going to have to completely uproot your, oh my God, I can't talk. Completely uproot your life, completely change everything, completely tear down your whole tower to its foundation, and rebuild completely. And some of you have been putting that off because Spirit is saying that some of you thought it would just be too hard or too impossible to do that, to tear that all down and rebuild it again. And obviously Spirit is saying that it's not impossible, because if you just believed in yourself, in, you know, God and the universe, that your angels, your ancestors, all of us, that we are here to guide you and to lift you up and to teach you that, you know, it's not impossible to rebuild that foundation and rebuild your tower. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? What is going on? Sorry, in my last couple of videos I was having issues shuffling too, and I was like, what is going on here? Why are these so hard to shuffle? And I thought I was having one of those moments again where everything was not going right. But we got it. We have the Queen of Cups. So some of you, as you start to make these changes and you start to accept that these things are necessary, excuse me, to be able to grow and to be able to head down the path you're supposed to be on, you are going to become more accepting of that thought and start to find this loving compassion for yourself again. And you're going to be able to nurture yourself and be able to give yourself self-love, and be able to love yourself again and be able to show that to other people as well, to be more open and nurturing with other people, more compassionate, more loving, more giving. You're going to have, emotional stability, emotional sovereignty of your emotional body and of your spirituality and all of that stuff. We have the Two of Swords. So yeah, this is the big decision. You're at a crossroads right now. So after gathering all this information for however long, after realizing the situation you're in is not the correct one for you, and you know your dreams and goals and you know what you have to do, now you have to make this choice. Are you going to stay where you're at and not grow and feel like you're never going to be where you want to be, that you're never going to be able to achieve what you want to achieve? Or are you going to leave that situation, tear down your tower, and rebuild? That's the big question. And some of you might feel really, really afraid. Some of you might feel like there's no way that that's going to happen. Like you might feel like, completely, what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know, like completely destroyed and overpowered by your circumstances to the point where you feel like there's no way you could possibly get up and start again. And, that's just not true. But that's how some of you might be feeling. And that might also be why that this change that you need to make in your life has been so delayed, honestly, because for some reason, that's how some of you feel. You feel like you have 10 swords in your back or something that's keeping you totally just overpowered on the ground. With the Three of Swords, some of you could have had some type of betrayal in your in your past. It doesn't have to be like when you were a child. It could be like 6 months ago is the past, a year ago is the past. Like it doesn't have to be like childhood trauma, but it's definitely some type of heartbreak or betrayal or something that really kind of threw you for a loop that was not supposed to happen, that happened, and kind of over time has made you feel like you are feeling like this Ten of Swords card, where you're completely being held down by all these swords and that you're overpowered and you can't move and you can't move ahead, and something's definitely something definitely happened, and you'll know if that's for you or not, if that message is for you, because you'll resonate with having something like that that's kind of been holding you back for X amount of time. Again, we have Two of Pentacles. We have another in between two situations card here. So again, like I said, some of you are going to have to really make that decision. That's like double confirmation right there in that moment. And with the Hierophant here, you're going to have to trust in the divine and God, the universe, that it is all going to work out, but you have to make some changes. You can't just expect to receive certain things without having putting any work in. Even manifestation requires work in the beginning. Like you still have to set your intention. You still have to put in the energy and the time to set that intention and to form it in any modality that you want. Everyone's different. Their manifestations are different. You have to do that for so much time before you release it into the universe and forget about it and then go about your life. And then eventually your manifestations come back to you, because that's how the universe works. So you have to be able to get to that point. You have to be able to trust the universe and God that once you've put in all this work that you're going to be putting in, that you have to be able to trust that you can actually let it go into the universe, let it go back to God, and that it's coming, but you have to just kind of keep going. A lot of people don't actually know that that's the biggest part of manifestation that people get wrong, is that they forget about the letting go part, the releasing part. Because if you hold on to your manifestations for too long and don't trust that God and the divine are giving you what you want, essentially, are going to give you your manifestations, and you hold on to them and you don't release it to God or the universe, that's what delays your manifestations, and sometimes, in some cases, makes them not happen. So you have to have, this is saying like you've got to trust. Otherwise, you're never gonna get them. Even if you start working hard for it, you're never gonna get what you. Yeah, and this is the Magician card. You are the co-creator of your life alongside Spirit, alongside God, the divine. You, in tandem with God and divine and Spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, are going to create your new life, the life that you are meant to live. But you can only do that if you believe. Oh my gosh, we have another decision-making card. Yeah, the Two of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands are all basically like in between two things. Two decisions, two situations, two choices. And we also have the Two of Cups. That is crazy. The Two of Cups is more like a love card or a partnership. So like I said before, some of you might be already in a partnership. You might already have your person. But for some of you, you're not. And this could be for some of you that you might be meeting your partner, your counterpart, which is pretty cool. And you'll meet them after going on this journey of finding going down your soul purpose, finding what you really should be doing in life. So that is what I have for you guys today. That is so cute. I love this little card. It's adorable. I hope that you guys enjoyed that and found what you needed, or listened to or heard what you need to listen to, or what you needed to hear. Again, my name is Cece. I was your intuitive reader for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up on the way out. It really helps me and supports my channel. Also, if you haven't thought about it, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me to connect to your energy way more easy in the future for these type of readings. That is pretty much all I see for you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!